US drug giant Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech have applied for emergency authorization for their coronavirus vaccine in the United States. Now, the vaccine has performed well in initial safety trials, and based on that, the US Food and Drug Administration could grant permission before testing is complete. Now, if it does, the first doses could be administered next month. For many people, the severe health and economic impacts of the pandemic mean a vaccine can't come soon enough.
A small pub with a big history.
It's 60 years of just stuff flying everywhere.
The Albatross pub in California once hosted intellectuals of the free speech movement in the 60s. Today, it's shutting down for good due to the coronavirus pandemic.
It's where people came, everybody came to hang out and talk, and it was a public space. It was a community space.
It's a familiar story, not just in the US, but all across the world. The lives of many have been upended by the pandemic. But on Friday, some good news. German drug developer BioNTech and its American partner Pfizer announced that they will be asking the US Food and Drug Administration for emergency approval of their COVID-19 vaccine. It comes after the companies posted promising results from an advanced trial. It showed a 94% success rate in adults over 65.
And the fact that 8-9 months after the start of this project, we have readiness to manufacture and get approved for vaccines of this efficacy, definitely it is something that will redefine the industry.
It will start the clock on a process that could see the vaccine approved for use in the US by mid-December. Once approved, distribution will become the focus, and there's a mixed response from Americans as to whether or not they will get the shot.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. As soon as possible.
Not really. Just because I don't even do the flu shot myself, just because of my immune system. That's been really good.
I would, yes. Yes, I would.
Not personally. I feel like it's everybody's own choice, you know, because not everybody agrees with vaccines.
But experts don't want people getting too excited, stressing that the manufacture and distribution of the vaccine is a complex task and will take some time.
I mean, even if we look about the 60-70% population in the world to be immunized to see the real impact of the vaccine, we are talking about 11 billion doses. And I don't think that one vaccine can be produced at the scale for immunization around the globe.
BioNTech and Pfizer have also started applications in the UK and in Europe for use of their vaccine.
Will we all soon be immunized? Let's ask John Campbell. He's a health analyst based in Carlisle in the UK. John, thank you for joining us. Now,
thank you, Thomas.
Let's begin by just looking at this application itself. What does it mean in terms of this emergency use? Will it somehow be fast-tracked? The application?
Yes, basically that is the case. We know that the Pfizer vaccine, for example, is efficacious. It works. It's about 95% effective. It's remarkably effective vaccine, and we've also had the 2-month safety data on that. So 2 months has passed in enough people since the last dose of the vaccine was given. So the European Medicines Agency is now having what you call a rolling review of this. They're just considering the data every day as it comes in, and so far it's promising. And I'm expecting the UK authorities to authorise it within the next week or so. The European agency, I really don't think will be far behind, and the Food and Drug Administration in the United States. And that basically means it's legal for practitioners to inject into people's arms. This is the legal authorisation we need. So I fully expect that people will be getting vaccinated and developing immunity to this in December. So I think we are, the light is well and truly at the end of the tunnel now. Now, the European Union has got 200 million doses of this Pfizer vaccine on the way, with an option on another 100 million. The problem is it does need quite a big, complicated cold chain. It has to be transported at -70 degrees centigrade. But the airlines are gearing up to this now, and it's being manufactured locally. It's being manufactured in Germany, Belgium, the United States, and it will cost about €20 a dose, we believe. So it's not the cheapest vaccine, but this is the first vaccine. Others are going to follow. The Moderna one won't be far behind.
Right. I was just going to get to that in a second, but we've heard some people in that report we were just listening to saying they won't get vaccinated. How much of a problem will it be if there's widespread rejection?
Yeah, there's been a study in about 16 countries published in the journal Nature on this, and the highest acceptance rates for the vaccine are in China, and the lowest acceptance rates for the vaccine are in Russia. And Europe is kind of somewhere in between. So in most European countries at the moment, it's hovering about the 72% of people say they'd take the vaccine if it was offered immediately. But there's more to it than people's personal preference. Now, this won't be mandated in Europe, but it could be a requirement for employment. So, for example, airline workers might be told, well, you need a certificate of vaccination or you can't fly. Factory workers could be told you need a certificate of vaccination or you can't come in and mix with your colleagues in the factory. And it could be a condition of travel as well. So Australia, for example, I would expect to stipulate that vaccination is necessary for travel to Australia. The United States, even within Europe, this could become possible. So even though people can opt out of it, it may become necessary for people to take part in day-to-day economic life. That remains to be seen, really.
Okay, and you've mentioned there are going to be multiple vaccines available. How can one person decide to use them all just to be on the safe side? And how do we decide which one of them to take?
Well, basically, the vaccines we get to begin with will be the ones that's available. So for December, it'll be the Pfizer vaccine, conceivably the Moderna vaccine at the end of December. Certainly by January, I would expect that to be administered. So it's availability in particular areas. But over time, what we'll do is we'll develop a profile of what vaccine is best for what people, for what age group. Is a particular vaccine better for people with heart disease? Is a particular vaccine better for older people or for younger people? That data will come to light in time. But the big hope in this, Tommy, is the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. The European Union's got 400 million doses of this organised, and it's being made in 20 places all around the world, including Australia and South America. And the plans to make with these 20 partners over 2 billion doses. And the big thing about the Oxford AstraZeneca one is they're not trying to make a profit out of it. The Pfizer and the Moderna one are for-profit vaccines, whereas the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is going to be €4 per dose. So that means you can immunise someone as long as this vaccine turns out to be efficacious and safe, which is looking good so far, for about €8 per person. That's going to be the real game changer for the world.
Wow, that's a great insight there. John Campbell, health analyst in Carlisle in the UK. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy.
Let's now continue in that regard, looking at some other developments in the coronavirus pandemic. Donald Trump Jr., the eldest son of the U.S. president, has tested positive for coronavirus. He's the latest Trump family member to contract COVID-19. The president and the First Lady recovered from their infections in October. A large-scale study at the Oxford University shows that people infected with the virus are unlikely to catch it again for at least 6 months. The study involved more than 12,000 health workers in the UK. Officials in China say they are carrying out mass testing on 3 million people in the northern city of Tianjin. This comes after 5 domestically transmitted cases were reported there.